Everyone, it's Marc Sievers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited today because I am going to continue with my series of corner store recipes. These are recipes that are really much more about just quick assembling and just putting some kind of shelf-stable ingredients together, all from my corner store, to make really easy, simple, recreatable recipes at home. And today I'm excited because we're going to make together some corner store fudge. So I've made fudge many times, and sometimes it turns out into fudge. Sometimes it's more of chocolate syrup because I didn't get it to the right temperature. And I'm definitely following in my grandmother's footsteps with that because my nan in our family was notorious for her fudge. She made absolutely incredible fudge. And depending how much maybe wine she was drinking around the holidays, it would turn into delicious Nan's fudge or chocolate syrup. So today I'm going to show you a foolproof recipe that uses really just a handful of ingredients, all available from your local corner store, that will get absolutely perfect fudge-like results in really a matter of minutes. So, of course, this is all part of our stay-at-home. We're all sheltering in place. We're all trying to just do our part in helping, our neighborhood, the world, all of that. So we're going to have a lot of fun this week. You can get the entire schedule for every live video this week on my website, marksievers.com, including a very, very special event for Saturday night. We're going to cook together live. If you click on the link, you'll see all of the information, the ingredients, all the preparations, and we are going to do a wonderful stay-at-home dinner party. It is Ryan and I's 10-year anniversary of being together, 8 years married. So I'm going to have him join me on camera, and we're going to cook an entire dinner party together with you as you're cooking at home. And then we're all going to sit down, toast, eat, and have a conversation. So that's all information is available at marksievers.com. But let me take you into the kitchen, and let's get started on our fudge. So I'm controlling everything myself today because the other Mr. Sievers is working from home. And so I'm controlling everything. So be patient, but this is going to be fun. So like I said, we're going to make some corner store fudge. And it really doesn't use any complicated ingredients. You don't need any fancy kitchen equipment. You just need a pan and a spatula. So I got a good spatula here. So let's get started. Let me show you overhead what I have going on. So first off, I've toasted about 1/3 cup of pistachios in a dry saute pan over medium heat for, 5 minutes. You know they're done when they start to smell like pistachio. So I'm going to set those aside and we're going to add those to the top of our fudge later. But for now, we have to get our fudge going. So I'm going to turn on medium heat over just a medium saucepan. And I have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. And this is what is going to be kind of our base for the fudge. Now, I'm going to show you really just, this is a great base for what you can add into your fudge, what you can add on top of your fudge. This is also a really easy project for doing it with your kids at home. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So while that heats up, I don't want it to come to a boil. I just wanted to get it a little bit warm. We're going to talk about other ingredients we're going to put into the fudge. So I'm going to use 2 different kinds of chocolate chips. So I'm going to use some semi-sweet chocolate chips, about 2 cups, which happens to be a 12-ounce bag, and then half of a 12-ounce bag of milk chocolate chips, and that's about 1 cup. So about 3 cups is going to go into this delicious fudge. I like this combination because I feel like it kind of gives the fudge a little bit more flavor, a little bit more depth. If you can't find semi-sweet and you can only find maybe semi-sweet and maybe some dark, use that. If you can only find milk chocolate and dark, add those. It's kind of, this is more of an idea of a recipe that you can then tweak for yourself. So I'm going to put this whole bag. Oh, I didn't even eat any. This is so sad. I'm going to pick some out. Can't help it. All I'm going to do is just give that a stir. Let me show you overhead. See? This comes together really in minutes. And then I'm going to add some butter. So I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Put that right in. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add, let's add some cocoa powder, about 3 tablespoons. And again, all of these things, really, you can get at any corner store. Of course, you can get them at every major grocery store. And a lot of this you probably already have in your pantry. So this is a great way to just use what you have in your pantry and still get a fabulous dessert for the week. So, oh, this smells good. Anytime I add cocoa powder to anything, it always smells delicious. And I'm going to add some honey. Honey is like my secret ingredient. I love adding honey to sweet things, to savory things. I find it just gives everything just real depth of flavor. And it adds sweetness, but it adds sweetness that has a warmth to it. So I think that's really nice. And I'm going to add also some vanilla. So for the vanilla, I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And I even found, I had vanilla in my pantry from before, but I did, before I came up with these corner store recipes, I did make sure that every single ingredient that I use in these series of recipes are truly available at your corner store. Mine, for instance, is Walgreens. So I didn't want to say you could get these ingredients and then pull them from my pantry. I actually made sure and vetted everything. So I think that's kind of nice and kind of gives you a little bit of, you know, a reason to either raid your pantry or the next time you have to go, essentially to go to the grocery store or the corner store to pick something up, you can pick up a little handful of ingredients and, you know, make some delicious fudge. So this is just, you can see, all I'm doing is just really stirring it around. You can crank up the heat a little bit if you need to. And I'm stirring, stirring, stirring. It really does melt fairly quickly. Now, if you did want to have a little bit of texture in your fudge, this is the time right now that you could stir in those pistachios that I have set aside. But I'm going to put them on top. I think it adds a little bit of color to this, and I think that looks really good. But you see how quickly this comes together. I mean, this is perfect. This is done. It's nice and smooth. It's not sticking to the bottom. And et voila, that's done. So now let's go back out to... So I'm going to have to make one more trip back to the kitchen to get the iPad that is running all of these cameras, because I only have 2 hands. So hold on one second. Okay, so make sure this is staying nice and fluid. And then I have just a half sheet pan right here lined with some parchment paper. And then I'm going to give you a little overhead view of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get my pistachios kind of prepared here. And this is our end result. I made a batch earlier without any pistachios, but this one is going to have pistachios. So these are whole. I actually found salted pistachios in my corner store, and I'm not going to chop them to be all completely fine. I want to have some large pieces, some small pieces, and some whole. And that is perfect. So now I'm going to take my pot of chocolate, and notice I'm not having to worry about the shape. It's kind of like when you make chocolate bark and you just kind of let it go a little bit free form. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to let it be nice and free form. And I like this because this is how you buy fudge in shops, in candy stores. My cousin Christine worked at a fabulous candy store when I was little called Priscilla's Candy in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And she used to make fudge and homemade candy canes. And my entire family has great memories of Priscilla's Candy. Sadly, they are no longer in business, but we're carrying on their legacy, at least in our memories. So I'm not spreading it very thin, maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is great for kids to do as well. And then I'm just going to put a little pretty design on top, just like that. And then I'm going to add in, or add on top, the pistachios. So you see, it really is very simple. It really is like making a chocolate bark, but this is just kind of a fudge version. And et voila. We have corner store fudge. I mean, I'm just going to press a little bit, just very lightly. Just make sure all those pistachios are embedded in that chocolate. And then, not so bad, right? Corner store fudge. Who knew that you could get all of these ingredients at your local drugstore, corner store, convenience store, and in really just a short time have some fabulous fudge. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Just let it kind of get a little bit more solid. And before I serve it, I'm going to take it out of the refrigerator and let it come to room temperature for a little while. And you get this gorgeous, delicious, nice and soft, very pliable, has that same fudgy texture. I think it's great. Well, you know, I always talk with my mouth full. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I mean, it is a recipe, but it's so simple. What a great way to spend time at home with our family, create some new wonderful things, and thanks for joining me today. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that we can play more together. That's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. You can get my schedule at marksievers.com for the rest of the week. And until then, have a wonderful Monday. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And I think I'm going to have to go make some room in my refrigerator for this new tray of fudge. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon. Now, how do I turn off all of these cameras? Here we go. Bye, guys.